Hi Priyesh, welcome. Hi, hi Asta, Mr. Bravo, Suru. What Sonu does? Yeah, you guys have such funny Instagram names here. I can't make out your names, so I'll be referring to you with your user IDs. So forgive me if it sounds a little awkward. Hi Priyesh, hi Netra. What Sonu does? Acha. Hello, Trijal. Hi Akash Mishra. Hi Shubh. Good evening. Good evening. Manali, hello. Hi Pandey. Jai Hind, brother. Jai Hind. Jai Hind, Manali. Let us just wait for 2 more minutes for more people to join. Then we'll start our session. Till then, whoever has joined already, you can post your doubts, comments, or anything related to SSB, or even personal doubts. I'll be happy to help you out for the next 2 to 3 minutes or something like that. Hi Tanveer Hussain. Hi Bobby, welcome. Pushp, Devneek Singh, welcome guys. I request every one of you to keep your doubts ready. Either think of them or write them on a piece of paper and have them ready. You can shoot them when we get started. Asta has already come up with a doubt. What in daily routine can we do so that it will help in SSB? Yes, this was almost covered in the previous video, but I'll repeat it for you, Asta. You should include these general things like reading newspaper, talking to your family and friends, discussing current affairs topics in groups, do something of physical sort like either running, playing games, or doing gym, swimming, anything physical. And more importantly, you need to be a good reader. That will enlighten you in many aspects and widen your horizon. So that is another thing you can do. There is no ideal routine as such. You can follow any personal mentor, or you can learn from other aspirants as to what they are doing. But usually it is customized to every person's needs. Whichever weak areas you have, your routine should be recommended based on your requirements. So there is no ideal routine as such. I hope I have answered your question, Asta. Priyesh, there is a lot of information about SSB on the internet. How can we choose which one is correct or not? For that you need to use your brain and logic, man, because internet is a free space, so everyone is having that freedom to upload their own content. So you need to think logically whether it will work or not, and you can try once or twice and then see whether they are working for you. Usually a smart person would look at it on the face value and realize that it is not a correct guidance. So choose an expert who comes in front of you and says things to you. That is one thing. Other than some faceless person who is uploading only written things, or he is not guiding you personally, then you can't trust that person. So one thing, you should be trusting the person who is giving you that info. That is first. And next, you should use your logic and think of whether these tips and tricks which keep being told to the aspirants, whether they really work or not. You can compare and check, and which information seems logical to you, you can follow that. That answers Priyesh's question. What Sonu does, how to inculcate OLQs in our personality. Yes, that is a very vast topic. I will be covering it over the series of lectures in the coming few days. Overall, your daily routine, the way you have led your life till now, and whatever things you are doing on a daily basis, all these develop your personality, and it's a lengthy process. It won't happen in few weeks or few months. it will take a long time to mold your personality. Most of your personality is already developed from your childhood to currently whatever you are living. So we can make some changes in that and bring out a few qualities in that and improve upon your weaknesses. That is all we can do. Otherwise, your personality is mostly developed. For a younger aspirant, that is for someone who is appearing through NDA, it is easier to mold his personality because trainability factor comes in there. Your personality is easy to be tweaked or changed during your younger years because that is the formative stage of your personality. Once you become a little elder, like let's say you turn 22, 23, later you are already in a certain how do I put this, in a certain personality profile which is not so easily trainable. So the elder you get, the difficult to change your personality overall. So from the childhood this keeps getting formed. You can relate it to the SSB also. That is why the SSB looks for your entire background from childhood to the current day, and they try to assess your personality through your PIQ and all these other tests also. They confirm it again by verifying with each other, and in the conference they discuss it, and that is how you are being judged. OLQ's inculcation in your daily life is through your routine and doing activities which are helping you to improve those weaknesses. That is all you can do. I hope I answered that question as well. Tanveer Hussain, Gentleman Academy is not my channel. No, it is not mine. Yours truly, Shikhar, join in ASAP. Oh, some tag. Okay. How to deal with social anxiety? Preeta, social anxiety is something not very uncommon. It is found in most of the people, especially introverts or people who haven't interacted with people much in their lives. It is not a difficult thing to overcome. You can start hanging out with close people or people who genuinely care for you, and slowly you can overcome the anxiety levels by spreading your social circle, talking to more friends, and slowly talking to lesser known people, and ultimately you can start talking to strangers also in an easy manner. You develop social skills only by being social, in a nutshell. So start and come out of your comfort zone. Just do something to overcome it instead of just sitting there and thinking about it over and over. I think that answers Preeta's question. The inquisitive one has joined us, guys. A good friend of mine. Okay. Priyesh, you are welcome. Jai Hind, Captain Harry. Okay. Trijal has a question. I have never been able to clear NDA exam and I cleared CDS. This will be my first SSB. I have fear that will my failures have a negative impact in my SSB? What should I do? No, Trijal, every person has successes and failures in a certain proportion in their lives. So no failure of you will be seen against you. The only thing you can do is work hard for whatever is coming up next and try to do your best in those things. Whatever has happened, there's nothing you can do about it, and there's no point in thinking of it also. So nothing is negative. SSB is looking for what you are right now, not what you were before 3 years or not what you will be after a few years. What you are right now. What you will be after 3-4 years, you'll be an officer. That they will train, that the academies will take care. So the SSB is only looking at your current potential. So no need to worry about your previous failures. Just focus on doing whatever you can do right now. Asta, after preparing so hard, still not able to clear written in 2 attempts. Preparing for my next attempt, but family members saying leave it, do something else. How to handle your family members? This is one common problem which I have seen in many of the female aspirants, especially because in India we have this mentality of our parents that girls are not made for defense services, or it is a tough profile or something. or some people due to their own failures of either the written exam or SSB interview give up on their dreams of joining defense. But that should not be your approach. You should be persistent and keep trying again and again. For convincing your parents, that is up to your family conditions, however they are. If you feel they are understanding, you can talk to them softly and make them understand your goals in life and how defense services are best suited for you. Otherwise you can be a rebel and say nahi mujhe yahi karna hai. So that is depending on your family situation. So I can give you a broad suggestion on that, but I cannot say personally ki हाँ जाके ये करो. So decide yourself. Asta. Good evening, Shikhar. And sometimes you feel it's a long procedure to just seeing something motivation goes down. How to handle that? I didn't understand that. Wait. Sometimes I feel it's a long procedure. Okay, you want to go for anything else which is easier or which is more guaranteed, like SSB is not a very guaranteed selection system, so you get demotivated sometimes and you feel like why not try other things. That is common in every aspirant, so you can keep trying other things also. SSB is not something you need to focus completely on like 24/7. It is just checking for your lifestyle and your personality overall. So you can always focus on your other backup options like some competitive exam or post-graduation or your corporate job. So you always have that option, and that will not hamper your SSB performance in any manner. In fact, that will be supported because you are thinking logical and you are also having another backup. So SSB recommendation will become easier for you if you do that. So that takes care of your question. How to develop critical thinking. Critical thinking usually means thinking against some opinion or against something which is already there. So critical by nature is critic. The word says that. So if you meant analytical thinking, then that is different. Critical thinking is some quality of yours. How do you develop it? By being critical in whatever you see. Like let's say you see some social media post which is otherwise okay. You start thinking it from a negative point of view and see why this is not correct. So that is being critical. Criticizing someone or going against some norm. So if you keep doing that on a regular basis, you will develop that quality. But critical thinking is not a very important quality which is being assessed. Analytical thinking, yes, but I think you meant analytical thinking, but you put it as critical thinking. I hope that answered your question. Lecturate task को कैसे improve करे? Prajapati, for lecturate you need to start practicing here. Overall, if you keep reading newspapers, if you keep watching general knowledge related shows and keep discussing among your fellow aspirants and group mates, you will overall improve your speaking skills and your knowledge base overall. For lecturate, there's nothing you need to do specifically. If your other qualities are good, like confidence, speaking in front of a crowd, managing your time effectively, all these kind of things, then lecturate is being taken care of by itself. That is what I keep repeating. You don't need to focus on individual tests, guys. You can't prepare for lecturate separately, for group discussion separately, for psych test separately. SSB is a very integrated and holistic selection procedure. So you can improve upon yourself by doing everything at a time. So you cannot prepare for individual tests. That is a very wrong approach. Prajapati, I hope you change your preparation strategy accordingly. Guess me, Abhi, how are you doing? Yes, I'm doing very well, brother. Thank you. Trijal, you're welcome. CDS and AFCAT cleared. No, never cleared CDS and AFCAT. No, it doesn't give any negative impression. You couldn't clear a written exam, that is all right. During that time, you might have had any other commitments, or maybe that exam didn't go very well because you were not prepared enough. That is not going to affect your SSB in any manner. I keep saying this again and again. SSB is looking for officer potential in you on that day when you go for the SSB. That's all. Whether these things which have happened in my life affect my interview, affect my chances of getting recommended, all that is not required. That is not your concern at all. I hope this answers your question, Captain Harry. How to avoid being verbose in interview? As I always used to get, in order to explain in elaborative manner. Okay, so Push says he speaks a lot. He wants to elaborate things and he sounds very too much verbal in the interview. So it's alright to be that way, but usually a defense officer is expected to be crisp and to the point. So you just need to cut down on unnecessary stuff and try to be very straight to the point. Answer in bulleted points all the time. Think of it in your brain as you are answering some question in dot point answers, and speak accordingly. You don't need to be very descriptive in all your answers. So that comes with practice. You can keep speaking to people. You can take mock interviews from me and you'll gradually improve upon that. Mike Maverick, hi. How to convert excuses into actions? Excuses are only for losers. People who are determined, people who are motivated enough to do stuff always act upon their thinking. So a person who is always giving excuses and not acting is not a potential candidate. So you just need to come out of it and start acting. And that's all. How can we do self-introspection? Yes, Priyesh, this is something very important for any SSB aspirant, because after your 1 or 2 attempts you may feel you are not up to the mark. So you need to seriously think of what went wrong and where you can improve upon. Any smart person can do it himself actually. He can see those 15 officer-like qualities, what exactly they mean, and looking at his life himself till this point, he can realize in which aspect he is lacking in and he can improve upon himself. Otherwise, if you cannot analyze that yourself, you can always take support from a mentor. For example, even I take personal mock SSB by administering some tests and give you an overall score of which qualities you are good in and which you are lacking at. So yeah, either analyzing yourself or taking the help from a genuine mentor, that can help you. Took a drop year and switched subject, so definitely there will be some tricky question about this. How can you tackle it? Yes, yeah. See, any question is looking to pull out information about your personality only. So there is nothing you need to focus on, like, yes, for this question I need to answer in this manner, then the assessor will think in that way and overall I'll get recommended. You don't need to put your brain under so much pressure. Just be genuine and answer whatever has actually happened. Being open and honest, obviously you should be. Being a little diplomatic or trying to fake it will never work, because the interviewing officer is usually of the rank of colonel and above. So he is not some Charlie sitting over there who will buy your fake answers. So yes, being open and honest and accepting the reality, trying to give some justification as to what happened wrong and why you took that decision or why you scored less in your subjects. That will be fair enough and sufficient to come out successful in your interview. Do's and don'ts before preparing for CDS written exam, because first attempt in September. CDS, there's no do's and don'ts. You can just start practicing and start reading. I think Arihant Pathfinder book is very good. I followed the same for CDS exam. Maths and English are very well covered in that book. For GK, you can refer that book for basics, but that is not sufficient enough. You need to refer to more content, like you'll find plenty of stuff online for CDS. I would recommend Pratyogita Darpan ka ye monthly current affairs material, and Manorama yearbook, the latest edition, that is 2022 or 23, whichever has come out. So you can refer to those, and there are plenty of books for CDS, so you can refer to them. And do's and don'ts, this is not SSB, so there's nothing like do's and don'ts. You just need to prepare well for the exam and go and crack it. Make a video on Johari window and SWOT. How can we use them to know about ourselves? Yes, sure, Akash. Thank you for giving this feedback. I had uploaded it and encouraged you to do it yourself, but some people may not know how exactly to use those techniques. So yes, I'll be making some elaborative video on the same. You can expect that soon on the page. Next, in which attempt I got in the merit list? It was my 5th attempt. In the first 4 attempts I was conferenced out, and in my 5th attempt I cracked the written exam and got recommended, and in the same attempt I was in the merit list as well. Kishan Chaudhary took a drop year and switched subject. Definitely there will be some tricky questions. How can I tackle it? This was answered already. Do low marks in academics create a negative image in SSB? To an extent, yes, because it shows a certain side of your personality. If you have low marks throughout your academics from your childhood to graduation or whichever stage you are at, it shows you are not serious about your studies, because after becoming a defense officer also you have to study a lot. You have to clear difficult exams for your promotions, and you will be in a group A gazetted officer's position. So yes, you are expected to have fair amount of academic knowledge and skill, but that doesn't mean it will create a negative image in the minds of the assessor, because there are many successful officers who have led troops in combat who didn't have good academic background themselves. So it doesn't affect your performance in SSB or doesn't create any negative impression overall. But yes, it shows certain facets of your personality. So you can improve upon them by doing other activities. Whatever has happened you cannot change, so don't think about whether it will create a negative impression or not. Whether it will create a positive or negative impression is up to the assessor's thinking. So you don't need to worry about all that. Just try to focus on what you can do yourself. How can we do self-introspection? Yes, I have answered this. Thank you. Welcome. Jai Hind, brother. Do not have any extracurricular and sports achievements in college, but I was a cadet in NCC, have A certificate. It won't affect your CDS SSB in any manner. I myself did not have any significant extracurricular activities and big sports achievements to write in my PIQ. I wrote simple things like I had participated in school level Kho and cricket competitions. I used to play cricket with my friends near my locality. And extracurriculars, I used to participate in quizzes, debates and such other competitions at school level, and sometimes I got qualified to the state level. So that is all I could write, and it is perfectly alright. Defense officers need not be superheroes who have done great things in their civil life. They should just have the raw quality to be trained as an officer. Later on they will be groomed into superhumans in academy and later on in their units. So doesn't matter. Having NCCA certificate itself is an achievement. So Aditya, you don't need to worry about all this other aspects you have mentioned. Should I join coaching or self-study? Coaching for SSB is not the right term. You can take mentorship from someone you trust, from someone you think can help you. Self-study is something I would recommend for SSB, because you are the best person to know about yourself and work upon yourself. If you do not know how exactly to do that, then some mentor who can give you some suggestions can help. But taking coaching is completely wrong, because coaching teaches you to behave in a certain manner. They will give you some psych tests, they'll give you some mock GTO tasks, they'll give you a mock interview and tell you these are the ideal manners, these are the do's and don'ts, so behave in such a manner. So you will become a trained person who is doing exactly that, which is not your true self. So the SSB assessors are smart enough to determine what exactly you are, and these fake approaches will not work. So I would recommend don't take coaching, but take mentorship from someone you trust. My YouTube channel name is the same. It is SSB Bro. The link is in my bio. You can subscribe to it. I'll be uploading some other videos and helpful sessions over there as well. Hope I answered that question. How to tackle smoking and drinking question. Smoking and drinking, if you are doing in real life, say yes. If you are not doing, say no. Simple. And that is not going to affect your performance at all. Your smoking and drinking happens commonly after you enter the defense forces also. Many officers are hardcore smokers and drinkers, so doesn't matter. All 5 attempts via CDS. Okay, so I haven't given 5 attempts through CDS only, guys. Stop asking about me here. Why do you want to know about me? Who is this person? Raj Ketan, curious guy. Okay, I'll answer him. I took CDS thrice, and the attempt I got recommended in was my 3rd attempt for CDS. I have given AFCAT also 3 times. My 2nd attempt or 3rd attempt and 4th attempt were through AFCAT, and after recommendation in my 5th attempt I gave another 6th attempt for AFCAT, in which I was too casual and happy because I was already in my merit list for CDS. So I got conferenced out in my 6th attempt. Anyway, I wouldn't have joined if I got recommended there also. So that is about me. CDS 3 attempts and AFCAT 3 attempts was my written journey. I didn't go through any other entries. I hope I have made it very clear. Don't ask questions about me, guys. This session is to help you. Some books you can suggest that give us a glimpse of army life and help develop personality. Yes, this is a very vast question on which I need to do some research. I will go through some books myself. I can recommend you some books which I have already read. There is this India's Most Fearless book by Shiv Arur and another author. It is very good. It is about all the Paramveer Chakra awardees. You can read that. And this author Rachna Bisht Rawat, she writes good books on military, so you can follow that author as well. There are quite a few well-known military authors who have written on army life and how to develop your personality, so you can just Google them and purchase those books. Not much interested in studying, but you are a defense aspirant. Okay, so you are saying some information. Interested in studying, but okay, you are not interested in studying, but being a defense aspirant, you became interested in studying. Okay, that is good. Continue studying. Ajit, hello, welcome, my Ladakh friend. You're welcome. Some of my army ke kisse, I will do that. Let me clear doubts. Yes, Shoot Die Fly is another very good book. I had read it. I forgot to mention that. Yes, you can follow. मेरे किस्से सुनाऊंगा भाई आदित्य. थोड़ी देर रुको, let me answer all the questions. फिर मेरे किस्से सुनाऊंगा तुम्हें. Okay, I don't think I have any other doubts. Guys, think of them. This is your opportunity to get your doubts solved. Even if you don't have any doubts, create them in your brain and ask them. Challenge me a little. थोड़ा मैं भी सोच के आंसर करूँ. Oh, now किस्से टाइम. Okay. क्या जानना चाहते हो? Ask me some specific things like क्या जानना चाहते हो मेरे एकेडमी लाइफ के बारे में या यूनिट लाइफ के बारे में, या what do you want to know? I will say some which type of tasks you cover in a Zoom meeting? I'll mention about this as well. So I have created WhatsApp groups in which I take serious aspirants and mentor them personally. In that, I give these group tasks on a daily basis. Group tasks mean group discussions, group planning exercises, lecturettes, mock interviews, and many more. In that, I make a reasonable amount of assessment of each candidate and give them personal feedback on one-on-one call, and try to design a daily routine for them to improve their own weaknesses, and I keep tracking their progress on a weekly basis. So if you are interested, you can join those WhatsApp groups by clicking the contact button in my profile over here, or you can directly message me on the Insta page itself. Yes, I think I've answered Prajapati. First day in academy, Aditya, yes, I'll come to that. I got some new doubts, I think. How to be very brave to get into the forces? Yes, very interesting question, Raj. Bravery is something you are born with mostly. I'll be covering such interesting topics over the next few lectures, but I'll just give a brief introduction to this topic. The 15 officer-like qualities you see are not equally trained or can be equally judged. Guys, courage is something mostly you are born with, and courage is considered the least trainable quality. Most of you who are not courageous by nature cannot be trained to be courageous. But if you are weak in your communication skill or your stamina, let's say, those are very easily trainable qualities. So in my assessment, I tell you which qualities you are lacking in, and if you are failing in these core qualities like courage, then I recommend defense forces are not for you. So you better try for some other things. Courage is something you cannot train in a person. It is not impossible, but it is very, very difficult. Courage is something you are born with. It is in your genetics, in your DNA. But sometimes in your early childhood, you might have done some things, done some adventurous activities, which makes you courageous over time. But courage is something you get by taking risks, by doing adventures on a daily basis or regularly. So that is how you become brave. I'll be talking about my first day in academy at Unit Indian Academy. Okay, Aditya, I have taken note of that. शुरू से शुरू करते हैं नहीं भाई. I'll be uploading the recorded session. शुरू से उसमें देख लेना. Want to hear about my SSB interview? I have already written a blog on SSB crack. I will share that link. You can go through that. You can directly message me, or better I'll just put that link in my story or bio. People who are more interested in me can look through that. Unit paragliding jump. Acha, you are asking about my experience. I'll come to that later. You're welcome, Prajapati. Who is my ideal person and why? There's no one called ideal person. Every person is unique in his own quality, and we are no one to judge whether someone is ideal or not. Personally, I take inspiration from few successful people like Virat Kohli, Elon Musk, and these kind of people who have achieved great things in their lives. I am a big fan of this Telugu hero Pawan Kalyan, so he is another inspiration to me. I think these are people who I follow. So this was a personal question. I hope I've answered. What was my backup plan? Yes, I was already prepared for civil services examination. I had cleared UPSC prelims as well. So civil services was my backup option. If even civil services didn't work, then I would have gone for higher studies, preferably MBA. That was my backup plan. How to do obstacles? Which obstacles do you mean? Individual or group? Be specific, Shikhar. You're welcome, Captain Harry. because I don't have GTO obstacles. Okay. So you're talking about group obstacles. For them, you don't need to practice here. This is another common concern among SSB aspirants. You do not need to practice GTO obstacles because they are very simple and they are testing your group behavior only. Whether you cross the obstacle or not doesn't matter. How you behave in that group, how you behave when some tough situation is kept in front of you, all these qualities of you are being judged through some technique. The obstacles are created in such a manner that the GTO is analyzing your personality in that. Practicing of group obstacles and individual obstacles, all that will not help you. Individual obstacles, yes, maybe, because you will be familiar with the obstacles and you can make a plan beforehand. It will also improve your strength and stamina. So yes, you can practice individual obstacles, but group obstacles, there's no need to practice. And SSBs are smart enough, they keep changing these groups obstacles frequently. So practicing won't help you. The obstacles keep getting updated. So do not practice obstacles, but focus on your personality and your overall intelligence. You will be able to tackle those obstacles by yourself there. Like before and after clearing SSB, especially wanted to know about your perception. Before and after clearing SSB, my perception of the selection system didn't change. It was the same. I didn't get that question completely. Push, be a little specific. I couldn't get that question. Jai Hind. Okay, Shikhar, I have answered your question for group obstacles. No, I cannot say which course I am from. Aditya, stop asking personal questions. What was I doing when I was preparing for SSB and civil services exam? I was at home. I had completed my graduation and I was writing many government exams. But my primary target was to become an Air Force fighter pilot and crack civil services exam, both of which I could manage successfully. But unfortunately, I was medically unfit for flying branch of the Air Force, so I joined IMA. I hope I have answered Defense Directions question. For money, I was not doing anything, but I was doing some survival job. I worked in a call center for a few months. Later, I worked in sales also. I used to do these basic survival jobs to take care of my pocket money and to be financially independent of my mother. But otherwise, I was not doing anything significant. I was focusing mainly on government exams and my own happiness and self development. Individual obstacles, yes, you may practice them, but not necessary, because they are only checking certain qualities like how you plan your obstacle course, how you tackle them, your physical stamina and strength basically, which you can build by yourself. You can keep doing these regular exercises like push-ups, squats and sit-ups regularly, or you can keep running, many things. You can just improve your overall strength and stamina. That will take care of your individual obstacles. You don't need to actually go and practice the same obstacles. That doesn't make any sense. Bobby, yes, I prepared for civil services examination. That is why CDS written was very easy for me. As I told, I had cleared prelims once. My regiment, I cannot answer that. Stop asking questions about me, guys. Why you want to join armed forces? How to answer this question? Because everyone has the same answer: to serve the nation. No, I didn't answer that in the manner you have written. I answered it in my own unique manner. Every answer is different because a regular coached answer is not something genuine, and the interviewing officer is experienced enough to catch your lies. So your true intention to join the armed forces should be spoken very straight and without any manipulation. If you want to join it for the pay and perks, say it. If you want to join it for the thrill of having an adventurous lifestyle, say it. If you want for anything else, say it. That's all. Be frank about these kind of questions, or any question for that matter. So everyone has the same answer because everyone is being coached to answer in a certain manner, which is wrong. Whatever is your true motivation to join the armed forces, that should be your answer. I have answered you, Prajapati. Now, Anonymous, according to you, what were the reasons that helped you be in the merit list and not in the previous attempts? Yes, the thing which I changed for the attempt in which I got recommended was I went with a cool attitude and I did not care about the outcome. I realized after interacting with a lot of assessors, with aspirants and my course mates, of course, that when you go with that mentality, saying you want to get recommended at any cost, or being desperate to impress the assessors, that will backfire against you because you will be adding extra pressure to your brain and you won't be able to perform to your best. So going with an attitude that SSB is just a test of my personality and I am good enough, so if I perform well, they will obviously recommend me. If you go with that attitude, then you are meant to get recommended. But that attitude will come in you only when you know that you are good enough. So that will come when you keep improving upon yourself, and if some assessor gives you a good feedback about your overall personality, or if you see your own improvement in your life, you will get that confidence and you can go with that cool attitude. Which is the best regiment? Every regiment in the Indian Army is the best. There's no doubt about it. I get scared during the Dargan ride at an amusement park. I don't know why it's happening with me since childhood. I don't know what Dargan ride is, but if you mean it is some adventurous activity, you have that fear in you. Let's say it is, I don't know what exactly that means. If you mean jumping from a height, then you have fear of heights. If you say it is some night activity, then you have fear of darkness. You have that particular fear associated with whatever you are mentioning. So try to overcome that fear by taking that risk and going out to try that activity. Slowly you will overcome that fear and you can try those challenging activities yourself. So that is how you will improve. You want to join for the charm of wearing uniform? Yes, that is fine. Many people want to don the olive greens, the blues of the Air Force and the whites of the Navy. So yes, that is your motivation. Fair enough. If IO asked what types of quality you do not like in your parents and family members, what do we need to tell? What quality we need to discuss? See here, these kind of questions I feel funny. Ujjwal, you don't need to ask me about what you need to answer. It is up to you. Which qualities you need to discuss depends on what actually you don't like or dislike in your parents and family members. If you don't like their controlling attitude, if you don't like their whatever, I can't comment on your upbringing and your family members. So answer truly and genuinely what you don't like. That's all. SSB is test of personality or test of language? I think the world knows the answer to this question. I don't need to answer it at all, but still SSB is a test of personality and not of your language. Even if you are very weak in your English, you'll still be recommended. That is why most of the ACC entry aspirants who are Jawans otherwise, or people who come from remote villages who are not very good in their English speaking, do get recommended. So it is not a test of language, brother. Important points needed to be kept in mind while writing SD. Yes, this is interesting question. Captain Harry, while writing your SD, I would recommend already prepare an SD at your home and try to remember it. Because SD will not change whether you write it outside or inside. It is about you. For the other tests, you should not go prepared because the answers depend on what questions they are asking. So for SD, you can take honest feedback from those respective people. let's say your friends, teachers, parents, and your own opinion of yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, and make points in a piece of paper, and then form a proper paragraph based on whatever points you received. You do not need to fake it or write some exaggerated stuff like I do not have any weaknesses or I have so many strengths, which you actually do not have. You can just write whatever you have in you very frankly. It should be aligned with whatever you have shown in all the other series of testing like Psych, IO and GTO. So there, if you write in your SD that you are very courageous and if you are fumbling in your individual obstacles to jump from a basic height, then obviously you are faking your own quality, which means you will not be recommended. So yes, you need to be frank in your SD and try to write in that given time span. All those things are very basic things, but try to be very frank. That's all. Sorry to ask one more question. Don't be sorry, yaar, Prajapati. Please ask as many questions as you want. Want to confirm it, as someone said me that in army a little bit problem with vegetarian persons. Oh no, yaar, there's absolutely no problem for vegetarians in the army. I have seen many Jawans in my unit and many of my course mates who are pure vegetarians, and they are served vegetarian food all the time. No one will force you to drink alcohol or eat non-vegetarian food. All these are some myths. You don't need to worry about all that. If you are a vegetarian, you will be a vegetarian in the army also. If you want to convert, you will convert out of choice, not out of compulsion. No one will force you. Did you have any minor medical unfitness? Yes, I had eyesight, as I mentioned, for the Air Force, which I could not get it rectified because for LASIK surgery you need to wait for 1 year before you can give your SSB again. I didn't want to take that risk, so I went directly. I had another minor issue. I had mild flat feet, for which there are some exercises on YouTube I followed and I could get rectified. I didn't go through any surgery or something. It was a very minor flat foot issue, so I could rectify it on my own and cleared my appeal medical. You're welcome, Prajapati. Prithvi Singh, welcome. Any other doubts, guys? We are almost ending this session. KP, welcome, brother. Captain Harry has another doubt. While telling our strength, we can use particular words like leadership, or we need to tell any scenario to justify that word. While mentioning your strengths and weaknesses, the only thing I can say is be honest here. You do not need to use big words like leadership, officer, all these kind of things. You just mention whatever genuine strengths you have in your personality, and if cross questioned, you need to justify it with any experience which has happened in your life, or even if it has not happened, you can say that you are having those qualities based on whatever you have done in your life. So that is how your approach should be for answering your strengths and weaknesses. KP, great work, appreciate. Oh, thank you very much, brother. Are army personnel getting to live with their families, or just non-army ones living along with their family? I do not get that question properly. Okay, army personnel do stay with their families in most of the peace postings and in some of the field postings. There are some hard field areas like, let's say, Siachen, Kargil, Northeast, J&K, in which obviously you cannot take your family for the threats seen over there. So yes, that is something you don't need to be concerned about. Army gives you a good family life overall. Sometimes you will be away from them, sometimes you will be with them, but they will be with the army family always. Even when you are in the field tenure, your family will be located in some peace posting of the army. So your family back in the unit will be taking care of them while you will be serving the country. So there's no problem with your family life when you join the army. But if you want to enjoy a peaceful life, staying with your family all the time, getting rest, all that, then that won't be given to you. Thanks for the session. Yes, you're welcome, Bobby. If we failed in medical test for any reason like knock knees, flat foot, will the SSB give us time whether it is curable or not? Yes, these surgical tests which happen are curable to a small extent. If you have them to a very large proportion, then I don't think they can be solved very easily. You will be given 42 days, I think, to appear for a re-medical. During those days, you can work upon these things and get medically fit. You do not need to worry about all that at this point of time. But yes, if you are worried that maybe after recommendation I will be medical out, then you need to check yourself. You can get it done from a doctor nearby or any ex-army doctor who has conducted these tests. Actually not required. You can just show the notification of your defense medical notification to your local doctor or someone and tell him to check your standards. If you are lacking in any of those medical fitness criteria, you can improve upon them yourselves. Does physical appearance affect SSR? Because my height is 167. Not a sensible question here. Physical appearance does not matter at all. Your height is 167, which is perfectly alright. It is not too small or too large. I mean, not small or large, sorry. You are not too short or too tall. So yes, your height is good enough. If you are lying in those extremes, like too short or too tall, you don't need to worry about all that. It's alright to be however you are. You are unique as a person. You'll definitely join my WhatsApp group. Okay, you are welcome. Shikhar, you are always welcome to join. Air Force personnel get to live more with their family compared to Army ones. Am I right? Yes, you are right. Because of the nature of the organization, the Army is more field work oriented and operations keep happening like patrols, raids, etc. So it is difficult to keep your family there. Air Force, on the other hand, is more technically oriented and let's say their organizational setup is in such a way that they stay near the Air Force bases. So yes, comparatively Air Force officers and other ranks enjoy quality family life compared to the Army, but the Army is not too behind as well. Raj Ketan says he also has a two-dimensional eyesight. Alright guys, do not ask me about medicals because I am not an expert in that field. All this information is available on the internet here. Do not ask these kind of redundant questions over here. Let us help aspirants who are preparing for SSB and answer their doubts only. For medicals, you can message me or I'll conduct a separate live session for only medicals. Let us all discuss medical criteria over there. How many days of vacation Army personnel get every year? Go on the internet and search, man. Don't ask these kind of questions. Anyway, I'll answer that. 60 annual leaves and 20 casual leaves. That is your answer, Prajapati. Instead of talking to your loved ones, you took the precious time to motivate and encourage us. We appreciate your work. That's so sweet of you, anonymous bro. It's my pleasure. I'm taking this initiative to help you guys. So yes, thank you for the appreciation. That's all. Okay guys, I think we have cleared almost all the doubts. I'll be uploading this recorded session in a few minutes. If you want to revise whatever we have discussed, or for those who were not live with us here, you can watch this entire session anytime you want. One request from my side would be share this information with all the defense aspirants in every digital channel like Instagram, YouTube, Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups, everywhere. So that yes, I'll be uploading it on YouTube also, Vineet. Share this with as many people as possible, because that will generate more follower base to our page over here, and from the coming live sessions, more number of aspirants can benefit. So that will be my request. Aditya, share my SSB crack article. Come on, yaar, I cannot reveal my identity. I have been telling you. I can share it, but in that my name, my photo, everything is put. So sorry, I'll not share it. Before this, I said I might, but only to people I know personally I'll be sharing that, not in a public platform like this. Johari window and SWOT, please cover it. Yes, you can remind me on direct message. I'll do it. Otherwise, I hope we had a fruitful session, guys. As I have already requested you all, share it with maximum number of people. Tell them to follow this page, so that from the coming live sessions, more and more number of aspirants will benefit, and we can change the SSB coaching ecosystem which is there in our country. This is a small beginning, but I'm hoping we'll expand to a large extent in the future. So thank you, guys. Thank you for attending the live session. I hope it helped you clear your doubts. Thank you very much. We'll make you proud. Yes, I hope you'll make me proud by getting recommended and doing well in your life, either as a defense officer or as a civilian. If you do well in your life based on whatever inputs you have got here, then that will make me happy and proud. Okay, I think we are done, guys. I hope you all had a wonderful session. Share it with everyone you know, and keep following this page. I'll be going live every weekend on Saturday and Sunday, mostly if I do not have any other commitments on those days. If you want personal guidance from me, and if you want to join our WhatsApp groups where we conduct daily group activities and provide individual feedback, you're always free to directly message me on this page by clicking on the contact button near my bio, or you can directly message me on Instagram as well. I'll be happy to clear all your doubts, and you don't need to worry whether this will be a paid thing or not. This is an absolutely free initiative. The army is paying me good, so I don't need to earn from some aspirant trying to get into the forces. So yeah, that is from my side, guys. We almost stayed together for an hour. Hope you gained some insights into the selection system and solved your doubts which have been hovering in your brain. Chalo, Instagram is already showing a notification to me that 2 minutes are remaining to end this session. So I think the limit is 1 hour. So guys, I'll be ending this session right now. Thank you all for attending. I had a good 1 hour. I hope you all also got some help. Thank you very much for being here. Good night, everyone, and Jai Hind.